Well, 2 weeks to go now, under 2 weeks. The UK and the wider world, of course, gearing up for the spectacle of the King's coronation on May the 6th. But as Britain brings out its finery to celebrate, it seems the King's daughter-in-law is still dishing the dirt on the royal family, including those old claims aired in that infamous Oprah report interview about racism. The man who's going to tell us exactly what's going on, of course, is my next guest, live from London, GB News host and columnist for Daily Mail Australia, Dan Wootton. Dan, this letter to the King, apparently Meghan Markle wrote to him, naming the racist royal, raising what she says was unconscious bias in the palace against her and people of colour. What can you tell us?
Well, surprise, surprise, Peter, this is leaked out just 2 weeks before the coronation. So we know that even though Meghan doesn't plan to attend, she wants to cause maximum damage to the royal family. But what I find so inexcusable about this is that she went on Oprah and made it very, very clear she thought the royal family was racist. In the intervening 2 years, Prince Philip has died. The late Queen has died. Never once did Meghan come out and publicly correct the record. So she let those two great people go to their deathbed knowing that the world thought that there was an issue with racism within the royal family. Now this gutless woman has downgraded her criticism to unconscious bias and admitted that the person who she claims to be the royal racist actually wasn't racist at all. So I think there are many issues with this letter, but what it overwhelmingly proves is the fact that she still wants to bring down the royal family. She will be unsuccessful, though.
Well, and Harry's going to be 10 seats back in the pew in the Abbey from the main action, we're told.
Yeah, that's the prediction that Paul Burrell made to me on my GB News show. And look, I think that's probably true. There is a real desire from within the members of the royal family, Peter, to keep him as far away as possible. And I'm told Prince William in particular, he doesn't want to utter a word to his treacherous brother. So King Charles, he's the big softy. He wants there to be some sort of family reconciliation. The other members of the royal family, Peter, do not feel the same about Harry or Meghan.
Two quick ones before we go. Less than a fortnight away, what's the mood for the public out there, the real people on the streets, particularly in London? And also, Barry Humphries, big loss for us here in Australia. I know he was loved in New Zealand as well. He was close to the King. How will he be remembered in the UK?
Yeah, the hype and the anticipation is certainly building here. A lot of the Republican movement want to try and say, actually, there's not the same sort of excitement as there have been for previous coronations. Well, if you look back to the reporting in the weeks before those previous coronations, it actually took till the day itself before the public really got behind the new monarch. And absolutely, when it comes to Barry Humphries, the mood here is one of devastation. I mean, clearly, Barry Humphries was an Australian legend, but he's someone who Brits claim to be their own. And I think particularly in recent years, Peter, there was a delight that Barry Humphries was prepared to push back against the woke brigade. You know, this was a flag bearer of the anti-woke movement. He stood up to the extreme trans ideology, and there was no one who, as Dame Edna, was so adored amongst that community, who had the strength and the power to be able to say, hang on a moment, some of this stuff that you're talking about is just rubbish. So actually, the last couple of days here in the UK, there's been a great sense of mourning, huge media coverage over the loss of Barry Humphries, because in reality, looking at where the industry is now, we will never see his like again in the entertainment industry. He would have been cancelled before he became famous.
He was, and I'm going to cancel us. Thank you, Dan. Thanks as always.